The 5 questions that we looked at previously are not just the only questions. I'm sure there are many other questions that also need to be answered. But how do you answer questions when data is not available? You need data to answer these questions. So data available to answer these and similar questions related to financing of private education is insufficient, and whatever is available is too much scattered. You don't find it in one place. There is no one source or resource where you can go and look for this kind of data. And when data is scattered, it's very difficult for the researcher to move to 10, 20, 30 different areas trying to collect pieces of data and then try to get the puzzle fixed. It may not work. And so, because of the insufficient amount of data and the randomness of the data available, researchers don't step into this realm and try to find out. So, what does one do? Just sit back and relax, or can we do something about this? The deficiency of data is evident from the fact that the most comprehensive set of financing statistics are available only in the census of private educational institutions done in 1999 and 2000. So 2000 is finished. We are 16, 17 years down into the new millennium. Where is the data beyond that? Data today from 16 years ago is old, is ancient, it's of no use. It's not going to help us address issues of today. We need current data. We need data of recent years. Today, honestly, anything that is beyond 3 to 5 years maximum is considered old. So really, we need data from 2011. It doesn't exist. So what are we supposed to do? How are we going to find out? See, the government needs to step in, begin a census project, and determine where these people are, where these children are. Are the schools enough over there in the region? Are these children going to schools? That kind of census-based data is what is needed. And with the most recent being 16 years ago, does not help today. Populations have changed, trends have changed, male and female ratios have changed, number of schools have changed, and so how does one account for today? You cannot look at data from 16 years ago and make decisions based on that for today, because that data will not be accurate. Since then, considerable changes might have occurred in the trends and patterns of investment, receipts and expenditure of private educational institutions, but it is difficult to analyze those changes because the National Education Census 2005 and NEMIS haven't collected this information. See, information needs to be collected. We cannot simply rely on the number of bodies in a school. The number of bodies in a school is important, but that doesn't tell me that every single child in this area is in a school. But that's the data we need. We need to go from home to home, collecting information on how many children, where they are, what age group, what schools they go to. Only then will we know whether every child of school-going age is in school. Going to schools and getting numbers simply gives us a quantity. It does not tell us that we've met our goal of universal primary education for all children school-going age. The census of 1999 and 2000 showed that the annual investment by the private sector was 2.5 billion rupees, whereas the recurrent expenditure amounted to 12 billion in the year preceding the census, which means in the data from 1998 to 99 said that 12 billion was spent. If 12 billion is spent, then investing 2.5 billion is not enough. You see, something is wrong. Something's missing. Where did the 9.5 billion go? How were those expenditures met? Or, are we looking at falsified documents? So again, this kind of check and balance needs to be maintained, and that can be done by the government stepping in. you see why privatization is a current issue and a trend. It's contemporary. It is today. It has existed since 1947, but it is still very, very relevant today. And as an issue and a trend, we need to look at how the trend will follow and how the issue will be solved.